Hi friends, let's continue with ESET 2018 branch subject. So now this is question number 121. So the question is, a clamping circuit adds which component to your output waveform? So if you see this, so this is a positive clamper and the other one is a negative clamper. So in this particular clamping circuit, see this, in positive clamper the DC value is incorporated, whereas in a negative clamper the DC value is incorporated in such a way that you will be having negative value. So if you see the question, it is clearly the DC value which is being added by the clamping circuit. Next, question number 122. So in a transmission line, if the load is purely reactive, what is the value of SWR? So see the options, but the student has to simply remember, for a purely reactive load, which means reactive J into XL, simply you have to remember the reflection coefficient as +1 and the VSWR as infinity. So in this case, reflection coefficient is 1 and VSWR is infinity. So now let's see question number 123. So this question is related to transmission line. So loading of transmission line is a process of adding inductances or coils. So line loading is the process of adding load to power transmission lines, and in this case loading is adding coils in series, which means inductance. So the next question is, what is the principle on which the Q meter will be working? So if you see the options, just by elimination these two will be eliminated. So among these two, so if you remember, this is the block diagram of a Q meter, and here all the three elements are in series. So Q meter works on the principle of series resonance. So the next question is, what exactly is VTVM? So see the options. So here, so if you observe VTVM, it has a high input impedance and it is basically a measuring instrument. Okay, so if you see the options here, so among all the four options, VTVM has high input impedance, because of which the loading effect will be cancelled. So we will learn what is loading in future questions. So the next question is, multimeters generally do not have the facility. If you remember, if you see a multimeter, it has all these three, but it does not have an option to measure frequency. So the next, so which bridge is used for measurement of inductance over wide range? So this AC bridge is called Anderson bridge, which is basically used for determining the self inductance of a inductor circuit. So this is a special type of AC bridge. So the student has to remember, Anderson bridge is used for finding out the self inductance of an inductor circuit. So next, so sawtooth voltage in a CRO is produced using, so if you see all these three are oscillators which generate square wave. However, we use sweep generator in CRO. So basically in oscilloscopes you use sawtooth waveform. In some cases it is positive, in other cases it is negative ramp. So the student has to remember oscilloscopes use a sawtooth waveform. Next, so a 10 megahertz CRO has a 10 megahertz. It must have basically an oscillator. So we don't have this concept of vertical oscillator. So sweep and frequency are out of the bound. So the student has to remember it is horizontal oscillator. Next, so what type of transducer is a thermocouple transducer? This is basically a voltage generating thermocouple. Here we get the concept of electromagnetic force, which is basically a voltage generating concept. So a thermocouple is generally basically used in measuring temperature. So remember this. So here when the junction experiences a change in temperature, the philosophy is voltage is being created. So now again see the question. So it is basically a voltage generating transducer. Next, an LED causes emission of light due to, see the options. So it is LED causes emission of light basically due to generation of an electromagnetic radiation. So if you remember, so this LED is basically a semiconductor diode that produces light of one or more wavelengths, and here the energy is in the form of photons, which is a quantum of electromagnetic radiation. So student has to remember wavelength, the concept of wavelength and electromagnetic radiation of the particles. Next, this is related to power electronics. So once SCR starts conducting forward current, its gate loses control over, see the options. Among the options, it is none other but when the anode circuit voltage and voltage current. So this is more or less a factual question. So next, what exactly is an inverter circuit? So inverter basically converts DC power into AC power. So this is how your inverter works. So it basically converts DC to AC. So remember this. So in our homes recently inverters are being very much used. So you will be having a lead battery which will be storing voltage in the form of DC, and then when the power is gone, immediately some of your tube lights will be working, which is basically AC. So inverter, the philosophy is conversion of DC to AC. Next, what exactly is a cyclo and what does it do? So cyclo is basically a forced commutations step up cyclo converter. So this is a bit of tough question because the student has to remember how exactly the circuit of a cyclo is all about. This is a tougher question. So but simply know the answer. Cyclo converters require forced commutation step up cyclo converters. Next, this is related to communications. So in communication system, noise is most likely to affect the signal directly in channel because noise has greater impact in your channel. So if you see this diagram also, noise is basically more focused in the channel part, whereas source and destination, transmitter and receiver, we have some distortions, but mainly it is in the at the channel. So noise is mostly in the channel form. Next, so we have a formula Pt is equal to Pc into 1 plus mu square by 2. So the question is related to Am. So he's saying mu is 0 in first case. So Pt is equal to Pc into 1, whereas in the second case it is Pc into 1 plus mu is given as 1, therefore 1 square by 2. So in second case Pt is Pc into 3 by 2. So this is 1 into Pc, whereas this is 1.5 into Pc. So if you see how much power is, what is the power change, so you can simply take Pt2 minus Pt1 by Pt1. So this is 1.5 minus Pc minus 1 Pc divided by 1 Pc. So this is 0.5, or you can simply say it is increased by 50%. So the next question is related to again modulation, analog modulation. So balanced modulation is nothing but product modulator, which happens basically in double sideband. So if you remember this particular circuit, so balanced modulator is where m of t and minus m of t are given to the local oscillator, and you will just do a simple multiplication and your resultant is your DSPS signal. So it basically suppresses the radio frequency carrier, thus leaving the sum of difference frequencies at the output. You will have S1 of t and S2 of t. So just remember, balanced modulator is related to DSP-SC. So here you are just multiplying it with the local oscillator signal. So the next question, so which of the following is an indirect method of generating FM signal? So if you see, among all this, Armstrong method is indirect method of generating FM signal. So this is the important diagram a student has to remember. Among the methods of FM generation, we have two methods, direct and indirect. So in indirect method you have only Armstrong method, whereas in direct method you have reactance and varactor modulator method. So you can expect in the next examination the question can be framed on varactor diode modulation or other modulating method, in which the question is basically with direct method. Next, so modulation index in an FM signal. So the student has to remember the formula M. So modulation index of an FM signal or beta is delta F by FM. So simply here delta F is frequency deviation and FM is modulating frequency. So here what is the question? So beta modulation index is delta F by FM. So varies directly with frequency deviation and inversely with modulation frequency. So this is the only option. Next, so a receiver producing an accurate reproduction of modulating signal is said to have. So this is a definition related to fidelity. So exact reproduction of the modulating signal, accurate reproduction, is a property of, is a definition of fidelity. So in audio, fidelity denotes how accurately a copy reproduces its source. Okay. So it also refers to the correspondence of output signal to the input signal, and basically in sound quality And mostly in Wi-Fi technology, we generally Wi-Fi wireless fidelity. So how accurately your copy is being reproduced as it is like that of the source.